Today in the Anatomy Lab, we're going to do a practical. While you, the viewer, chilling at home or at class, you will do this on yourself. If your professor is standing there, make sure he or she does it too. While you're doing this on yourself, we will do it on this arm illustration and talk you through it. This is a trick for recalling the anterior compartment muscles of the forearm. And please be sure to watch to the very end of this lesson, as we will be sharing some extremely high-yield notes for you to know about this topic. First, as always, let's orient ourselves with the anatomical direction. Thumb's over here, so this is our lateral side, and pinky is here, so this is our medial side. You can't see these bones, but the radius bone would be over here, and the ulna bone will be over here on the pinky side medially. This here we can also label is our distal wrist crease, where we find our radial ulnar joint. Now, to really know these muscles, we'll do some math to understand the order of these muscles. It's easy math. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Nice. The 4 is for us to remember in the anterior compartment of the forearm that there are 4 muscles superficially. 1 is because there's one below these in the intermediate layer. And if you do 4 minus 1, you get 3, which there are 3 muscles in the deepest layer of the anterior forearm. Altogether, if you add how many muscles we're talking about, there are 8 muscles we need to know. Okay, let's begin with the superficial layer. Now, just like this illustration, make a fist with your right arm and place your left hand right at the elbow like this. Tuck that thumb, you don't need it. Now look at your pointer finger of your left hand. You'll begin from laterally. Because look, at your right hand's thumb, that's lateral. You're going to begin labeling from lateral to medial, but describing how your journey in healthcare is going. Pass, fail, pass, fail. This is a mnemonic for the superficial layer muscles. Pass, fail, pass, fail. Let's label the superficial layers. P for Pronator Teres muscle. F for flexor carpi radialis muscle. P for Palmaris longus muscle. And F for flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. You'll notice from these 4, there's actually one muscle that is visible. It's right over here. And note, this is not a vein. It's the tendon of the Palmaris longus muscle. Funny enough, some of you may not even have this. For 15% of the population, it's absent. Comment below if that's you. I think it's a pretty cool share. Okay, you got it. Pass, fail, pass, fail. The Pronator Teres muscle, pass, its function is that it pronates the forearm and assists in elbow flexion. It originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and coronoid process of the ulna. It inserts onto the lateral surface of the radius, about midshaft. Fail is for flexor carpi radialis muscle, which flexes and abducts the wrist for radial deviation. This muscle originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus, and it inserts onto the base of the second and the third metacarpals. Next, we have pass for Palmaris longus muscle. Its function, it tenses the palmar fascia and assists with wrist flexion. It originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus, and it inserts onto the palmar aponeurosis and the flexor retinaculum. Then we have fail again for flexor carpi ulnaris muscle, which flexes and adducts the wrist for ulnar deviation. It originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and the olecranon of the ulna bone. It inserts onto the pisiform, hook of Hammett, and the base of the 5th metacarpal bone. Okay, that's the 4 muscles now. 4 minus 1. So 1 is the intermediate layer, which the muscle here is the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. This muscle's function is to flex the PIP and MCP joints of fingers 2 to 5, and it assists in wrist flexion. It originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus, coronoid process of the ulna bone, and the anterior border of the radius. It inserts into the palmar aspects of the middle phalanges from the index finger to the little finger. 4 minus 1 equals 3, and 3 is the number of muscles we'll discuss in the deep layer of the anterior forearm muscles. First, we have the flexor digitorum profundus muscle, which flexes the DIP joints of the fingers from 2 to 5, and it assists in wrist flexion. This muscle originates from the proximal 3/4 of the anterior and medial ulna bone. and the interosseous membrane. It inserts into the distal phalanges of the fingers 2 to 5. Then we have the flexor pollicis longus muscle, which flexes the IP and the MCP joints of the thumb. It originates from the anterior surface of the radius and interosseous membrane. The insertion is at the distal phalanx of the thumb. Lastly, we have this muscle in the deep layer called the pronator quadratus muscle, which functions to pronate the forearm. It originates from the distal anterior ulna and it inserts on the distal anterior radius. Cool, that completes the 8 muscles of the anterior forearm. But wait, what about the innervation? Well, this is where it gets fun. You can rest your hand now. I hope you weren't holding it this whole time. Now listen, all the anterior forearm muscles are innervated by the median nerve, except these 1.5 ulnar nerve exceptions. The exceptions are 1. The flexor carpi ulnaris muscle, which is innervated by the ulnar nerve, because actually the ulnar nerve travels right below it. And the half is for the flexor digitorum profundus muscle. The ulnar nerve travels above the FDP and innervates the medial half of this muscle. That does it for the muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm. But I want you to take away these 3 high-yield points that you must know for exams. 1. There are 8 muscles in the anterior compartment of the forearm, 4 superficially, 1 in the middle, and 3 deep. 4 minus 1 equals 3. All of them are innervated by the median nerve except flexor carpi ulnaris muscle and half of the FDP muscle. Number 2. All the muscles in the anterior arm are innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. And number 3, all the muscles in the posterior arm and the posterior forearm, everything in the back, are innervated by the radial nerve. Okay, know this and feel free to share this lesson with your classmates and rewatch it so you just never forget it. We would love it if you could just subscribe to our channel to support us, and please come back for more lessons. I'll leave you with this table that covers the names, functions, origins, insertions, and the innervations. I'll be with you again for the next lesson. If you'd like to see more of this lesson, head over to our Instagram page and TikTok channel at rev.med. We'll have this lesson along with many other topics for you to study. By the way, don't forget to do questions. Are you learning something from our videos? Well then click the subscribe button to your right. We are releasing high-yield lessons and ways for you to get ahead in class. Be sure to follow us on Instagram to take interactive quizzes and view your favorite diagrams. Nothing can stop you, but only if you believe in yourself. You got this.